Hi, my name's Corey, and I want to tell you about a trip that changed my life. But hold on, I'm getting ahead of myself. First, let me introduce you to some people that I love. This is Sophia. She's my niece. She's 6 years old and lives a pretty typical life. She has her own room, lots of toys, and she can be pretty picky at dinner. This is Nicole. She's my daughter. She's 17 years old and also lives a pretty typical life. She has her own car, she's just started to date, and she's already looking at colleges to apply to. And finally, this is me. I'm an accountant. I help people manage their money and plan for their future. And I've never really traveled very far away from home, until recently. On my very first trip to the other side of the world, I went here, Goa, India. This trip really did change my life. But hey, I'm getting ahead of myself again. Let me introduce you to some other people that I love. This is Priyanka. She's 6 years old and lives a pretty typical life. This is her house. She doesn't really have any toys or clothes for that matter. And she's not picky about dinner at all because she doesn't usually get dinner. This is Vimala. She's 16 years old and yes, lives a pretty typical life. She never went to school. She'll never dream of having a car. She'll also never have a boyfriend or a husband because she is the daughter of a temple prostitute, and no respectable man will marry her. Instead, her mother wants to sell her into temple prostitution like her sisters. India is a world leader in ultra poverty. That's not usually a surprise to people, but what might come as a surprise, while the government officially condemns temple prostitution, it does nothing to stop the centuries-old practice. For me, it was easy to see that without education, Priyanka and Vimala will just continue on living in the cycle of poverty and hopelessness. Finally, let me introduce Francis. He is the reason that I traveled halfway around the world. I had heard about him at church, and I wanted to see his work in person with my own eyes. Francis has dedicated his life to giving these kids a chance at a better life. He feeds them, clothes them, teaches them, and gives them usable skills. He started the Tenderheart Foundation. This is their building. For Priyanka and other kids just like her, Tenderheart is an early education program where she is learning to read and write, gets a uniform to wear, and gets fed. Because of Tenderheart, thousands of kids have tested into mainstream schools, effectively breaking the cycle of poverty for them. For Vimala, Tenderheart provides a tailoring program where she learned to make clothes, and upon graduation, she was issued a sewing machine that she used to start her own village tailoring business, effectively breaking the cycle of prostitution for her and hundreds of other girls. Something about Francis really spoke to me. Not just his genuineness or his dedication to these families. It was that I realized that we are both essentially in the same business. We both help people plan for a better, more secure future. And I wanted to partner with him to help give these kids hope for a better life. A partnership of hope between me and my church here in America and the Tenderheart Foundation in India. India has the feet on the ground to help these kids, and we have the money in our bank accounts to make it happen. A true partnership. Francis wants to open another school in the nearby town of no, forget it. Here is the plot of land he found. I was there, and I can tell you that it is right in the heart of hundreds of kids in need. It's the perfect spot, so I told Francis that we would come up with the funding for phase 1 of the building. This will cover the main first floor and a walkout basement, and this will get the school and the tailoring program up and running. The target amount we are raising is $50,000. And we are well on our way through donations, selling ice cream at a 4th of July festival, and from a community rummage and bake sale. In the past, I've discovered that most people want to help other people in need, but don't know how or where to do it, or they don't know if they can trust the organization that they are giving to. So with that in mind, I wanted to share this partnership of hope with all of you. Your help will have a direct effect on some of the poorest people in the world. And I will be personally overseeing the finances of this fundraiser. 100% of the money raised will go to the Tender Heart Building Project. Please don't give if you don't want to, but I know there are people out there looking for opportunities like this to make the world better in the best, most practical ways possible. Give a little, or by all means, give a lot. Every single dollar will be used on the building. Meeting these kids really did change me forever, and now you can help change their lives forever too. Thanks for listening.